Sometimes we wonder why the amalgamation of the Northern and Southern Protectorate in Nigeria, why Sir Lord Frederick Lugard amalgamated these two different entities together, because the Southern Protectorate was a different group entirely, different from the North, different from the ideologies, their thinking, everything they do. It was kind of different from the Southern Protectorate, but they kind of joined them together because they felt they could make a nation, Nigeria, bringing these two different groups together. And then over the years, we've seen different things. We've seen things happen in Nigeria, and we wonder, why are these guys just like this? Well, it's because in the first place, they weren't supposed to be together. Now we have this Islamic movement in Nigeria, and this Islamic movement in Nigeria actually kind of swears allegiance to Iran. And so this fight between the US and Israel against Iran brought different Muslims together to protest the killings in Iran. And we are wondering, in Nigeria, what concerns Nigerians with what is happening in Iran? What concerns Nigeria with the stage of Iran? Let's watch this video, family.
We are here on the street to send our condolence and to show the Ummah our hearts and tears that we are in very sad and bad situation of this matter of Said.
So family, do you know what happened? Nigerians came out to protest against the killings in Iran. They staged a protest. Those Muslims in Nigeria. Now, the funny thing is we've never seen them come out to protest against bad governance, bad policies, or anything bad the government is actually doing. But President Donald Trump and Israel launches an attack on Iran, and we see them come out to protest against the brutal killings in Iran. You know, the U.S. Embassy and U.S. mission in Nigeria actually released a statement. Let's check it out. This was released by the U.S. mission in Nigeria. They said, the U.S. Embassy in Nigeria informs U.S. citizens that there is a high potential for protest in Abuja today, March 4th, 2026, due to the current conflict with Iran. Previous protests by some groups have resulted in violent clashes between the group and Nigerian security forces. The embassy strongly recommends that all U.S. citizens in Abuja remain in their residences on Wednesday, March 4. Now, an action to take: avoid areas where protests are taking place, avoid crowds, exercise caution if unexpectedly in the vicinity of large gatherings or protests, monitor local media for updates, be aware of your surroundings, keep a low profile, review your personal security plans, and keep all your cell phone charged in case of emergency, carry proper identification, stay alert, including at shopping centers, movie theaters, and places of worship. Familiarize yourself with emergency exit. The consular section of Embassy Abuja and Consulate General Lagos remain open. Now, the U.S. mission in Nigeria released this on the 4th of March 2026. Earlier, these groups staged a protest, pledging their solidarity with Iran and asking Trump to get his hands off Iran. And again, we ask, what's in it for them? Why are they so concerned about Iran? Now, let's check this out, family. Do you know that the link between Iran and Muslims in Nigeria is primarily driven by the Islamic movement in Nigeria, a Shiite group inspired by the 1979 Iranian Revolution? Iran mentors and sponsors the IMN, that's the Islamic movement in Nigeria, promoting Khomeinism and supporting their goal to establish an Iranian-style state, Islamic state in Nigeria. They promote this, and their goal is to establish an Iranian-style Islamic state in Nigeria, despite Nigeria's predominantly Sunni Muslim population. So in case you're wondering, why are these guys pledging allegiance? Why are they coming out to stand for these guys? Why are they standing by this Iran government? Why are they standing by Iran? This is it, family. Yes. So this Shiite group is proudly sponsored by Iran mentors. Iran provides support, training, and influence to the Shia community in Nigeria, which has grown to represent a significantly minority within Nigeria's Muslim population. So we see what they are doing. Iran, in a way, is sponsoring, supporting, training, influencing Islamic community in Nigeria. So you see why they would come out to protest against the killings. You see why they would stand with them. You see why they would stand against President Donald Trump and not even talk about their nation. Family, you see this? So the relationship connects a small but active segment of Nigerian Muslims directly to Iran's foreign policy and religious ideology, often putting them at odds with the Nigerian state. So in a way, family, Iran has kind of found a way to support the Islamic movement in Nigeria. And because Iran supports the Islamic movement in Nigeria, supports them, sponsors them, they kind of feel that if they are suffering, if Trump is doing this, we need to stand by them. Can you imagine? But the thing is, how can they stand by Iran? And Iran in no way stands for them. Or let's even say this, they in no way come out to protest against the killings in Nigeria. Do you know that if a number of them comes out to protest against the bad governance in Nigeria, stands with the majority of the people that comes out, or let's say the minority of people that comes out to protest against the brutal killings and insecurity in Nigeria, our government will be moved to work. They'll be moved to act in ways that will profit the people. But because they are relaxed, now they left what concerns Nigeria to focus on Iran. How will the government take us serious? Family, according to reports, Islam is one of the largest religion in Nigeria. Now placing the Muslim population between 50 to 56%. Now imagine that number coming out to protest against the brutal killings, the insecurity, the damages this government is doing. Don't you think there'll be change? No, but they only do what they feel like doing. Now, we've had protests over the years. Imagine the difference it would have made if they came out in mass, in their numbers to support the people, stand against the government. It would have enforced change. The government in no small way would have decided to up their game, change for the better. But no, our people are supporting Iran. But anyways, it's good to support those who feed you. So this movement began in Kano State in Nigeria, family. The Shia movement, affiliated with the Islamic movement in Nigeria, took to the street to protest against the brutal killings in Iran. That's Israel and President Donald Trump's attacks, airstrikes on Iran. Now, many of them came out raising the Iranian and Palestinian flags, pledging their solidarity for Iran. It makes me think that's what concerns them the most. You know, they actually saw Ayatollah Khamenei as a supreme leader, not just in Iran, but a spiritual father to them in Nigeria, this Islamic movement. They saw him as a support, a pillar, a strong pillar, I would say. So his death was kind of personal. They took it personal in Nigeria. This Islamic movement, the Shia group, they took it personal because they saw Ayatollah as their mentor. They said, Trump has no right to lay hands on Iran or go to another country to fight against them. Now, the funny thing is this war might have been in Iran, miles away from Nigeria. But in Nigeria here, the Islamic movement, they felt it. They felt it. They felt a part of them has been taken away. But I'm kind of surprised and pissed at the fact that when it comes to Nigeria, comes to what concerns us, comes to the governance, comes to protest against bad governance, insecurity, they are actually quiet. Well, I do actually blame Lord Lugard. In a case like this, what do you have to say about the story, family? Comment your thoughts and do not forget to share, like, subscribe, and turn on your notification button. My name is Lynient Akotonou. Thank you for watching.